So apparently when they said my recording was not going to record anymore, I think they meant on the cloud and not on my actual computer. So recordings are good. We should be good. Today is Wednesday. We're already halfway through July, which is crazy. As you can see, there's not a lot of people on here. And I was just saying before I got on that my sleep has not been very restful. There are 7 planets in retrograde. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and text messages. So if you are feeling like you're going backwards or you're not as grounded as you normally are, that is why things are getting pulled in different directions. So it's okay. Like we say, feel the feels, right? So let's go again. Our space. Let's take a deep breath in. We're going to go back and just see what we need to observe with our inner child today. Who is our inner child? We say this a lot. It's that little person inside of you who is programmed to be the adult you are today. Most of our suffering, most of our pain, it's all stored in our head. Programming, things that have happened from their programming. Our parents can only parent at their level of knowledge, just the same as us. We can only be friends, siblings, partners at the level of our understanding. It's hard for us to see that. We feel like things are happening to us instead of for us. Shifting our perception is not easy, but it is something that we can do. We're going to go take a look back. So many years to choose from. Timelines, dimensions. We're going to stick to this one. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Really important to clear your mind out. I want you to relax your body. I want you to release your ego. And now I want you to see yourself as a child. How old are you? Where are you? Who is there with you? What's going on? How are you feeling? Do you feel safe? Do you feel anxious? Scared? Confused? Just observe yourself in this moment. Whatever's happening, just observe it. Our guides of the highest vibration are calling attention to this stage. Whatever's going on, tell that inner child. Look at them now. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. All of this is molding us. We're going to take all of these things and use them as tools. Give them a big hug. Slowly, slowly go ahead and leave. Deep breath in. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. One more on your own count. Focus on how that belly is expanding out as you fill it with deep breath. And the awareness back to your fingers and your toes. You can stay in this space. You can mute me. You can open your eyes, slowly bring your awareness back. Stretch your neck if you have to. This is one of the meditations where you're going to want to write notes. We're going to do more of these. This is calling attention to an area in our subconscious where we're being told to observe. It was interesting because I saw myself at age 5 and 11. And my 11-year-old self was comforting my 5-year-old self. I did have 2 really big shifts. 5 was right after I had moved to the United States. So I spoke no English. So that makes sense. But I was in my house in Montana, my childhood house. And there was nobody there. It's weird. The house was empty. It almost felt like it was Christmas time. But when I looked around, there was no one there. And it was as if her and I were like, it's as if my 2 younger selves were like, in the Christmas Story when Scrooge goes and it's more like him and one of his guides just observing. So it's not like I was there, but I was there observing through an observation, which was weird. And it was, and I did when I hugged myself, I hugged my 5-year-old self. And then as I was about to leave, I looked at my 11-year-old self and didn't hug her. I was like, you're good, we're good. And then I was like, no, come here. Let me give you a hug too, because she also needed that hug. So it was interesting that I didn't instinctively feel that I needed to hug my 11-year-old self. So that's something I'm going to go back. So that's why I said journal this stuff, write it down. It's all either, it's all significant, but sometimes we don't always decipher the message. Like I'll get things, I've had other friends who are intuitive, like Kim, what does a red truck and the name Gary mean? I'll never forget that because that was one mess. I mean, that was my friend. I was, God, in my early 20s. And it never revealed itself, like who the red truck was or who Gary was. So that's why I love jotting things down, because sometimes they'll come back later and it's like, oh my God, I remember I wrote that down. Let me go see what that was about. And then, sometimes they tie together, sometimes they don't. But when you write it down, it really does help to put it down there. And then maybe you will remember it when it comes up. So, is there anybody that does want to share? Yeah, it's early. And like I said, I'm feeling tired too. And a lot of it's been non-restful night. So I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, that not a lot of people jumped on. As you see yesterday, I couldn't even jump on. I was like, I had both kids in the bed. I was like, oh, there's no way. I was completely exhausted yesterday. So if you need to go back to sleep, turn it off, go back to sleep, enjoy your morning. I love you all. And we won't do any intuition tests today because it's quiet and very sleepy today. So I will see you guys mañana. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Go back to bed.